Hey guys, giving you the second update on the Skylark build. We got the 5.3 in today with the TH400 already bolted to it. That's all bolted in. We built like an engine cradle type thing for the motor mounts. We're going to weld that to the subframe on the front. It's just sitting in there now. There was a little bit of notching that we had to do with the front subframe. Like a 2.5 by 3.5 by roughly 9 inches, I'm guessing, maybe 10. I can't remember exactly what it was. But after we did that, it fit down in there. It was still pretty dang tight. We had to take the heater core and blower motor ductwork assembly all off. Trying to remember what else we had to take off. I think we had to take the driver's side valve cover off as well. Yeah. But it's in there. It's pretty cool that they had a section for the transmission. Like, must be they had different transmission options. There was 3 positions it could have been in, and with the TH400, it landed all the way on the furthest one back. It ended up being perfect right where the engine was sitting, with the motor mount slid all the way forward. So worked out pretty good. Didn't have to modify anything really. Yeah, I'll give you a little video of the motor mounts. Again, it's not all welded in yet, it's just tacked up. Here you go. There she is sitting in there. That's a 5.3 and a 63 Buick Skylark. Those are El Cheapo motor mounts, universal motor mounts, built to like a engine cradle, I would call it, I guess. That's a piece of angle iron that was 3/8 thick by 3 by 5, I believe it was. Anyway, right now it's just tacked in there. The back one on the side had to get notched around for the steering box, which, as you can see, we're not going to have a whole ton of room to run headers. We might be forced to run some factory manifolds, and even then it's still going to be tight on this side. I'm going to probably have to do something different with the booster. I think I got enough room to get down in there and get the ductwork back in. 100% certain I will. I don't really need heat anyway. It would just be nice to have. Yeah. Don't have a whole lot of clearance. There's like 1.5 inches, maybe, which is like the width of the hood anyway, so it's going to be tight. But yeah, that's the factory cross member bracket and mounts and bushings and everything, so that was pretty sweet that all went in. And I got those wheels mounted on too. Those look pretty sweet. Car's sitting about how I envisioned it, which is nice. I'm sure the front end will go down a little bit more once we get some exhaust on it, and all the other electrical stuff, and alternator, power steering, accessories and whatnot. It's not going to be a whole lot of room to mount the computer and battery and fuse block, run the wiring nice. Not a ton of room for a radiator. I think I'm going to have to cut into this a little bit to get a decent radiator to maybe just sit right down in there. I'm going to have to use an alternator relocation bracket because the alternator, I think, sits over here, and it sits up pretty high, which is going to be way higher than the hood, so I'm going to have one over here. And again, I can't use the truck intake because that sits up way too high. It's like 11 inches tall, so I'm going to have to buy, I think, an LS1 intake's like 5 3/4, which is going to be pushing it height-wise, but I can't seem to find one online that's any cheaper. Seems like the aftermarket ones are all like 6 3/4 and 7. Yeah. Still waiting on the wipe-on clear coat patina preserver from Vice Grip Garage to show up. But it's gonna look sweet. Got all the holes all patched up. I did order some Diplomat blue spray paint, which obviously doesn't match perfect because the car's faded. So I've got to pull the seats back out. I just mocked up some brackets to mount them to that's the transmission tunnel that I had to make. A bunch of different pieces and parts. And have some seam sealing to do and a bunch of painting. And those are going to have to come back out. But it's a fairly complete interior. Not bad for a junkyard find, I guess. Yeah.